In Nsumba Village, there was one rule no one dared to break. When the sun falls and the sky begins to darken, you must never lie to the elders, because the forest listens, and it always answers, every single time. Tonight, a girl named Adanna broke that rule. Nsumba Village sat at the edge of the ancient Obodo Forest, a place older than memory, a place the ancestors warned about, a place the wind carried stories from, a place where truth and lies were weighed by spirits unseen. The villagers respected it, feared it, obeyed it. But Adanna questioned everything. She was 17, stubborn, curious, and brave in all the wrong ways. To her, some traditions felt like old tales meant to frighten children. She believed danger was only real when she could see it, and because she saw nothing, she feared nothing. The trouble began on a quiet evening just before darkness touched the rooftops. A meeting was called. All villagers gathered inside the elder's hut. The drums sounded differently that day, weak, hollow, as if something drained their strength. When the elders sat, silence swallowed the room. Elder Oji, the oldest and wisest, stood slowly. His blue robe shimmered in the firelight. Cowrie shells along his chest rattled softly as he breathed. His gray-braided beard touched his chest, and when he raised his head, his white eyes glowed faintly, sensing what others could not. He asked just one question. Who entered the Obodo Forest after sunset last night? No one moved. Everyone knew the rule. No one goes into the forest at night. Not for water, not for wood, not for curiosity, no one. But Adanna had been there. She went to search for a rare herb for her mother's medicine. She meant no harm, yet she broke the rule. And she knew it. Elder Oji's eyes slowly swept the room and settled on her. Her heart kicked hard inside her chest. The silence felt like a weight. And then Adanna said the words that would change her life. I did not leave my hut, Elder. I was inside all night. A lie. A small lie. A simple lie. A lie told out of fear. The elders accepted her answer, but the forest did not. That night, Adanna lay on her mat trying to sleep when she heard it. A whisper. Soft. Cold. Layered with voices too many to count. It drifted in through the cracks of her hut like a crawling wind. You lied. She sat up suddenly, her breath lost in her throat. The whisper came again, deeper this time. We heard you. She froze. Her skin prickled. A shadow moved outside her window. Tall, thin, and wrong in shape. Too tall to be human. Too still to be alive. She squeezed her eyes shut, desperate for morning. When daylight finally arrived, Adanna stepped outside and saw them. Footprints in the dirt. Large. Deep. 3 long toes. They circled her hut like something had been watching her, waiting. The tracks stopped directly beneath her window. Her stomach turned. She rushed to Elder Oji, attempting to hide her fear, but he saw right through her. He spoke quietly. When you lie to us, you lie to the forest. When you lie to the forest, the listeners wake. Adanna swallowed. The name alone made her shiver. The listeners. Guardians of truth. Punishers of lies. Spirits older than the trees, older than the soil, older than the stars above. Elder Oji leaned closer. Tell the truth before nightfall. After that, even I cannot save you. Adanna nodded and walked away. But she did not confess. Her pride, her fear, and her stubbornness held her tongue. Before noon, the village bell rang violently, echoing across the square. People rushed out of their huts. Lying in the dust was a twisted vine shaped like a noose. The elders gasped. A warning from the forest gate. Only one person receives such a warning, the one who angered the spirits. Adanna felt her heart collapse. She wanted to confess. She wanted to tell the truth, but shame wrapped itself around her throat, and so she stayed silent. Clouds swallowed the sun earlier than usual. Shadows stretched like claws across the village. Birds fled. Even the wind felt afraid. As the sky darkened, the elders prayed softly, begging the ancestors to be merciful. Adanna ran to her hut, trembling. The first drum beat sounded. It echoed through the earth, deep and hollow. Adanna realized she had run out of time. When darkness finally claimed the village, the air grew still. The world seemed to hold its breath. Then came the voice, the same layered whisper from the night before. "You lied." The hut trembled. Adanna turned slowly toward the door. A shadow stood outside. It was nearly twice her height, made of wines and bones twisted together. Its red eyes glowed dimly. It raised a long, crooked finger and pointed toward the forest. The message was clear. Come. Adanna gathered her courage and stepped outside. The forest swallowed her instantly. The forest loomed ahead, dark and endless. With a trembling breath, she crossed the boundary. The moment she did, the forest changed. The path behind her vanished. The trees leaned inward like listening giants. The air thickened, heavy and wet. She whispered, "I'm sorry." The forest hissed. Not enough. She moved forward until she reached a clearing where pale moonlight formed ancient symbols on the ground. There, the first listener waited, its vine and bone body shifting like a living cage. It spoke without a mouth. "A lie stains the tongue. Prove yours deserves forgiveness." She whispered, "I lied because I was afraid." The vines loosened. The spirit stepped back. She passed the first test, but she sensed another presence behind her. Bigger, darker. The second listener emerged in a swirl of smoke, taller, shapeless, a moving shadow. It said, "You feared punishment, but you fear something else more. Name it." Adanna's voice shook. "I fear being seen as weak. I fear disappointing everyone. I fear not being enough." The smoke thinned, accepting her truth. But the trials were not over. The ground shook under her feet. Cracks split open as red light poured out. The third listener rose, a giant skeletal spirit wearing an ancient wooden mask. It said, "The forest punishes lies, but forgives the brave. Give what you value most." Adanna trembled. "What must I give?" "Your pride." She collapsed, sobbing. She confessed everything, to the forest, to the spirits, to herself. The skeletal figure dissolved. The red glow faded. She had passed. She stood, breathing shakily, ready to return home, but the forest held its breath. Another presence stirred. The tree shook violently. From the deepest shadows, something enormous stepped forward. The fourth listener, one never spoken of, one even the elders feared. It was ancient, built of shadows, roots and stone. Its eyes burned like dying stars. Its voice rumbled like thunder. It growled, "You waited beyond the drumbeat. You belong to the forest now." Adanna ran. Roots erupted from the earth, chasing her. Branches whipped at her legs, shadows clawed at her ankles. She screamed for help. At the forest gate, Elder Oji appeared, holding a glowing ancestral gourd. Blue light burst from it like a wave. The fourth listener recoiled, screaming, but the spirit turned its gaze to Elder Oji.
a life for a life. Elder Oji did not run. He did not beg. He gave his life to free hers. The spirit claimed him and vanished. The forest fell silent. Adanna cried until the dawn broke. When morning came, Adanna returned to the village and told the truth. Every detail, every fear, every mistake. She vowed never to lie again. She vowed to honor Elder Oji's sacrifice. And from that day, Adanna carried the lessons of the forest with her. That truth may be painful, but a lie carries a cost far greater than fear. And that the forest always listens, always remembers, always answers. Truth is heavy.